independent regulator, and that independent regulator has powers at its disposal to identify when serious failings are taking place.
Ayoub Khan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this morning the firefighters in Birmingham have made it plain that they are going to stand in solidarity with the bin strikers in Birmingham, so they're not going to collect the rubbish. We know that there's only 17 workers, which means it's a drop in the ocean financially. Given what this government has said, that they will do all that they can to bring this strike to an end, would the Deputy Prime Minister confirm that they will force the Council to make that payment and deploy the army to assist the local charities and organisations that are helping themselves in clearing? They need the extra support.
Well, I mean, he does very well to go from 0 to 100 pretty quickly on that issue. Just stepping back from the immediacy of it, clearly we want all parties to be in the room having the negotiations to do with the underlying pay and terms and conditions dispute that's at play. But to be absolutely clear, where there has to be a red line, that cannot stray into potentially compromising the equal pay settlement that has been agreed, so that all that begins to unravel. Bearing in mind that's already £1 billion of cost to local authority. So we support them and we want people in the room, and it's got to be a sustainable deal that can hold.
Final question, Alice MacDonald.
Mr. Speaker, as the Minister will be aware, nutrient neutrality has had a big impact in Norfolk, holding up many homes and planning applications. The launch of the Norfolk Nutrient Mitigation Fund has helped make a difference, but we need more environmental solutions. Can the Minister update on what else we will be doing to address nutrient neutrality so good homes and growth can be unlocked in our local area?
Well, Mr. Speaker, we are supporting a range of targeted interventions to deal with constraints such as nutrient neutrality, but in the longer term, the measures in the Planning and Infrastructure Bill, introducing that Nature Restoration Fund, will allow us to provide that win-win for both development and nature, deal with constraints at nutrient neutrality, and unlock the development of new homes.
We'll let the front bench change over. Now come to the urgent question. Martin Vickers.
Thank you for granting this urgent question, Mr. Speaker. Can I ask the Secretary of State for Business and Trade what actions the government are taking to prevent the closure of Scunthorpe Steelworks?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appeared before this House on the 27th of March, just moments after British Steel's devastating announcement of early asset closures at Scunthorpe and its commercial decision to consult on large-scale redundancies. The course of action British Steel's owner has chosen is deeply disappointing, and our thoughts remain, of course, with British Steel workers and their families at this very concerning time. Government's contingency plans, of course, kicked in, and DWP and DFE teams are there to provide support and advice to affected workers. We will make sure support is in place for as long as possible. Looking ahead, however, I can assure this House that early blast furnace closures at Scunthorpe are far from a done deal. We have been clear that the best way forward is for British Steel to continue as a commercially run business with private investment and government acting in support, which is why we made the company a generous offer of public funding on the 24th of March. As members are aware, British Steel's owner did not accept our offer or the necessary conditions attached to it, which were designed to protect workers, safeguard taxpayers' money, and deliver a sustainable company core to the future of British steelmaking. But that is not the end of the matter. The Business and Trade Secretary and I met with Jingye as owners of British Steel on Friday, and there are plans to meet again this week. The government remains resolute in our desire to secure a long-term future for the Scunthorpe Steelworks, retaining steel production and putting an end to the years of uncertainty. I can assure the House that no options are off the table in order to achieve that. We continue to work tirelessly across government and with British Steel's owner to find a better outcome. I cannot go into further detail at this stage. It would be damaging to British Steel's workers, families, the company and its supply chain for me to speculate on how events may unfold in the coming days and weeks, while a live negotiation remains underway and policy is being developed at pace. But members should be in no doubt that there is a bright future for steelmaking in the UK under this government, and we believe British Steel and its superb workforce at Scunthorpe have an integral role to play.
Martin Vickers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the Minister for her comments, and whilst it's welcome that work is being done through DWP and so on to support potential redundant workers, the reality is that we have a company, Jingye, who are not involved in meaningful negotiations. The government have been critical of them in previous replies to my questions. It's very obvious now that they've cancelled the raw material orders that are essential to keep the furnaces going, which were due in mid-May. And when I was at the steelworks on Friday, I was told that unless they can place another order for iron ore pellets this week, then it will be too late. And with that in mind, can I ask the Minister, she was somewhat reluctant to go down the route of nationalisation when I raised the matter a couple of weeks ago, but the majority opinion in the area now, and by leading politicians in the area, is that nationalisation on a temporary basis is the only solution to keep the furnaces burning come the middle of next month. Can the Minister confirm that that is something that the government are actively considering? It would give an opportunity to rebuild the industry, secure, hopefully secure new private sector involvement. It would convince the customers, most notably Network Rail, who get 95% of their rail track from the Scunthorpe Works, that there will be a continuation of supply. So my viewers come round to the view that nationalisation in this instance on a temporary basis is the only way. It will secure the jobs, secure a future for steel production in Scunthorpe, and I urge the Minister not to rule that out, indeed to actually commit to it.
Can I thank the honourable member for his for securing this debate and for his comments, and I know we'll continue to have honest conversations and continue to talk. Jingye are very much talking to us. As I said, we met with them, the Secretary of State met with them, and I and others met with them on Friday, and we hope to do so again this week. Look, our priority is respecting the workers and safeguarding jobs and retaining steelmaking. And we have been clear that in our belief that the best way forward is for Scunthorpe and British Steel to continue as a commercially run business, as the honourable gentleman knows, with private investment and government acting in support. But I can tell him that no options are off the table.
Matt West.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I was really concerned to read about these withdrawal or cancellation of shipments of the essential coking coal and so on for Scunthorpe. As the Business and Trade Select Committee heard from British Steel and from Tata about some of their needs, and the Minister will be aware that one of the things that we have failed as a country is not having an industrial strategy over the last 6 years or so. So can I urge the Minister once more on the absolute urgency for us to establish this steel plan, to set out what the UK's needs are to ensure that we have resilience across our industries and of course, for our economy?
Can I thank my right honourable friend? He's absolutely right, and in the Business and Trade Select Committee we talked about exactly that. We've seen a decline in steel manufacturing in this country over the last decade, a very significant decline, and we want to turn that around, which is why long before we got into government we committed to a plan for steel, which is a £2.5 billion investment in steel making in the UK. As we speak, I had to come back from it to be in this chamber, but as we speak, there is a round table which I was due to be chairing at JCB in Stafford, talking about the plan for steel and in particular trade barriers on this occasion, but we've been having a series of round tables, gathering evidence, pulling the facts and figures together so we can put the right investment in place.
Shall Secretary of State Kevin Hollingray?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I thank my honourable friend and indeed our excellent candidate Rob Walton